If there's one thing that's most important with being a creative, this one has to take the top spot. Betting on yourself. I say it's most important because nothing would have started if you didn't bet on yourself. Nothing would have progressed to the next level if you didn't bet on yourself. When it comes to our creative journeys, I truly feel like we make the most of it when we do that for ourselves. And I feel like when we make the choice to just bet on us, to bet on ourselves, I should say, I think it is literally the best representation and the best showing of how much trust and belief we have in ourselves. In a world where there's so many things that can make you feel discouraged, like your dreams are far from you, like you're not capable of achieving your dreams. You, out of all of that, have to be the main thing that keeps you moving in the direction you want to go. Because at the end of the day, the journey only starts when you do. I've had my own experiences with betting on myself before I even started Weeble Studios. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 things that were holding me back, how I got through them, and most importantly, share with you how you can apply them to your own creative journey. The first holdup that played a role in me not betting on myself was being afraid of the outcome. This involves you being afraid of either failing or succeeding with what you want to go after. And for me, I had a fear of failing. Like, I was in this position where I was always thinking, what if I go after this thing that I want so much and fail? And no lie, for the longest, that question had been roaming around my head from like the end of high school to like junior year in college. And because of how afraid I was always doing things that were nowhere in line with what I wanted to do. For instance, whenever I was just going into college, I thought that being a computer science major was a great idea. It was not a good idea. And at the core of this, I feel like all of this stems from being afraid of the unknown. Whenever I chose computer science, I chose it because it felt more easy, it felt more practical, it felt safer, versus filmmaking, which is more, I don't know how things are gonna go. The way to get there seems so unpredictable and unknowing, and that scared me. When it comes to any creative medium, whether that be filmmaking, making music, painting, whatever it may be, we don't know how things will go once we start going after it, you know? And not having that answer is super, super, super scary. However, the thing that really helped me get me through this hurdle was by believing in myself, which to me means doing actions and creating thoughts that are in line with my success. I know I could have said like a more practical type of way of fixing this issue, but the thing is, with this type of issue, I feel like the only way you can fix it is by making changes up here. With this specific problem, believing in myself helped me realize that even though I don't know the outcome, even though I don't know where things will go once I go after this, I feel like because I have such a strong connection to my passion and I have so much love for it, I know I will make it. Despite not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, I know that as long as I walk down this path, I will see it eventually. And from coming to that realization, it led to me just doing the actions necessary to get there. You no longer worry about the outcome because you truly believe it will be in your best interest, and you act on that. And on our creative journeys, I feel like this is so important because you need this to even make the first step towards achieving your dreams. Taking that first step is so powerful. And even though we don't know the outcome or where our journeys will lead us, we have the ability to believe that where we're going is the right way, and all the good things that we're going to do are going to get us closer to that. Although not knowing the outcome of things is super duper scary, it is something that is out of our control. But if we never take the first steps toward what we want despite that, it's almost as if we've already accepted failure. The second holdup that got me was being afraid of the workload. When it comes to being on our creative journeys, 9 times out of 10, we're going to be doing a whole lot of work to make progress. And when you're at the beginning of your journey, thinking about how far things can be, that can be a little daunting. I remember thinking about how much writing, filming, and editing I would have to do in order for things to go anywhere. And at one point, it did worry me. You know, I wasn't always the type of person who was like super strong with work ethic before college. So whenever it came to the point of me having to work on my own terms and stuff like that, that was something I really had to adjust to. But it was a necessary change that I needed to make because of how much I wanted to make that progress. And most of all, make this thing become real. I'm not gonna lie to you, doing the work isn't always going to feel the most comfortable. And there will be days where you don't feel like doing it at all. But the most important way to avoid this holdup is by changing the way you look at the work. The way you look at the work plays heavily in how you experience it. And although it'll be a whole lot of work that you have to do, it'll be worth it because it won't feel like a lot. It won't feel bad, or at least that bad. Yes, this is something you're going to have to be putting a lot of time and energy into damn near every day to make progress. But choosing to look at your work as something you love to do or find joy in doing rather than just looking at it as work plays like a big difference in how you do that. Just know that the workload is a part of the journey. And as long as you change your perspective of it, things like your attitude, your actions, everything will change in alignment with that. And most importantly, believe that you're capable of handling the workload. Now, even though there are probably like a whole multitude of other reasons that can hold you back from betting on yourself, I only address those two because of how heavily they played in my life. Regardless of if we have the same reasons or if you have reasons of your own, I truly feel like there is one key thing that plays into why we have holdups and why all of our holdups hold so much weight over us. And that is holdup number 3, not believing in ourselves. With the things that I talked about earlier, this played such a big part into why they were such big problems. But most importantly, this played at the source of the solution that got me out of them. If you don't believe you will succeed, you'll never get past the unavoidable moments of failure you will encounter, nor will you ever feel capable of being successful with what you want. If you don't believe you're capable of handling the workload, you'll never really truly put your all into the things that you're working on, nor will you ever get outside of that comfort zone that's keeping you stationary. You know, believing in yourself is something that I just urge all creatives to learn and figure out, because it just awakens something in you that changes you into the creative that you've dreamt of becoming. It's helped me advance in so many ways, with one of them being to make this company. And on top of that, to even make this video to inspire you to do the same. And with that, I often question myself by asking, if I had the chance to make my dreams happen, would I let myself fail? No, because I refuse to let that happen. And as creatives, that is one thing we should always know and always remember while we're on our journeys. You know, before I started We Will Studios, this was probably the hardest dilemma I had to go through. I say that because in the past, I wasn't always the type of person who made their own choices and stood on them. When it came to certain things, I would mostly follow the people who were around me, do the thing that felt the most comfortable, or do what felt the most safe. But when the thought of making this film production company came to mind, I realized that I couldn't continue being that way, because if I did, I would have never been able to make this happen. I would have just listened to what everybody else said and went in the routes that they went on, while my heart was actually somewhere else. And personally, I don't think that's any way to live. To everyone watching this, I just say believe in yourself while you're on your creative journey, or even when you're about to start it, because once you do, you'll find a way through any situation you're in and continuously bet on yourself. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This is Lance at We Will Studios, and remember, I will, you will, we will. Let's get it.